and welcome again to the round table. And today we will be discussing accountability and transparency. Why Article 61 needs reform. And we are talking about the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. Today we have again our panelists, and we also will be hearing from the people at different locations. We have Honorable Magisto Wolokole. You are welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
He's one of our regular panelists here on the round table. Um, and we will also be hearing the voices of our uncle in Grand Bassa County from Ablije TV and Plebo Radio in Maryland County. So I want to say welcome to the broadcast, and we have our numbers up. The Voice of Plebo 93.5 FM. You want to call 0776-697767. Ablije 94.3 FM 088-1166731, 0775-734-774, and Liberty Radio 88.1 FM 0770-777-572, 0888-669430. And you also want to call our WhatsApp number +1-952-201-9287, all the way here in Minnesota, USA. It's good to have you with us. Thanks for joining us. Do us a favor, share the broadcast, and make your contribution. You can call us, you can text us, whatever the case that is suitable for you. Please be part of this discussion today. Accountability and transparency. Article 61. And Article 61 looks like it gives a lot of power to our president. And so we want to look at that article. And we will have part 2 of this discussion on Thursday. Hopefully we can have our lawyers on the platform. But for now, let's pull up our article and let's look at it. Article 61, of the Liberian Constitution. And the article reads, the president or proceedings, judicial or otherwise, and from arrest, detention, or other actions on account of any act done by him while president of Liberia, pursuant to any provision of this constitution or any other laws of the republic. The president shall not, however, be immune from prosecution upon removal from office for the commission of any criminal act done while president. This is Article 61 of the Liberian Constitution. And I want to bring up Mr. Moses all the way from Plebo, Maryland County. I want to bring you up. 1 minute. And welcome, Moses. Welcome. So just before we go into our discussion, I just want to give just 1 minute. I'm watching my clock because we want to hear the voice of Plebo today. We want to hear the voice of Ablije. We want to hear the people's voice. So just 1 minute as an introductory comment. We want to start from Honorable Magisto.
Thank you, Pastor. Thank you for having me on the show again. It's a pleasure being on here to everybody. One thing I want to address today for my opening comment is today we saw that lawmakers took Keke to work today. And I want everybody to listen to this and share this, what I'm about to say right now. I am glad that the lawmakers representing Yeke Koluba and everybody took Keke to work. That means that the president the executive branch can give each lawmaker, representative, and senator $3,000. That's the cost of a keke. $3,000 for every one of them to buy keke and transport themselves to work. He can take the rest of that $41,000 and take it and put it towards education and towards agriculture. They do not need $45,000 for a car. They have shown that they can save money. They have shown that it is okay to ride keke. We'll give them $3,500, $500 for them to get it registered and for them to get insurance. So it is settled. No more we should see lawmakers driving expensive car only if it's their car. I think it would be wise if they should pass a law saying that lawmakers should only drive keke to work. That's the only thing when they are going to session, they should have keke.
And who's going to pass that law? They see lawmakers, they will shoot themselves in the foot.
Because they are already driving keke to work. So, Representative Yeka Koluba, thank you for that. If I was Mr. President, my advice to you, you have the right to give them $3,000. The law said you're supposed to give them money for transportation. They have already shown that they can drive $3,000 vehicle to go to work. So give them $3,500, $3,000 for keke, and $500 for registration and for insurance.
Thank you. Thank you. We want to hear from Ta. Are you there? Ablige?
Yes, I'm here.
Just an opening statement before we go into the question.
Yeah, but you know, my Joseph Wolukoli got me laughing already. But let me say to all of those listening, welcome to the platform. This is the round table, and it comes on the 2 days of the week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So, Grand Basel, specifically Buchanan, is relatively calm, and the listeners are all ears, willing to listen to what we have to talk about this evening when it comes to our constitutional reform process and provisions in the Constitution that people believe need amendment, specifically looking at Article 61 on today. So let me say hats up to my colleague from Maryland County, Moses Dawo, and the host of this program, Pastor Patience Blay Ato. I think it's always good that we are available to really such a tough, provocative discussion.
Thank you, Ta. He's having a little bit of. Ta, can you mute your? Thank you. Moses, we want to say welcome also to our anchor in Monrovia, Mr. Charles Martin of Liberty Radio 88.1 FM. He is currently relaying this program as well, and hopefully we can have them on the platform next time. Moses.
Yes, sir.
What's your opening comments before we go into our discussion?
Okay, so and I think we give a room to the Ablige man, who is on top of the game. I just joined the broadcast, and he can begin from there, so I can go deeper into what is likely to happen, on this on it.
Well, while you were away, I believe you spoke already. This is just opening comments before we go into our question for our topic today, which is accountability and transparency, looking at Article 61 of the Liberian Constitution. And that article tells us the power, which is this. You can see the article, the power of the president. He's immune to lawsuits, action, proceedings, and all kinds of stuff. You cannot touch him. You cannot say anything. You cannot do anything. So it brings us to, before we go into our question, you want to say whatever is happening on your end, the people of Plebo or Monrovia or Liberia.
Okay, so today the mayor of Plebo City, along with his team, headed by the administrator, Mr. Solomon Nair, and they were seen, implementing city ordinance section 3.1c that talk about dilapidated structure, old structure in the city, that also causes hazard to the community. So they were in the streets today, and they remove those structure along the road, to give room to cyclists, or to other people, even pedestrians, so they can be able to ply the road. Though other people had descending view about the new laws being enforced by the city mayor, but I stand the commitment will come. Followed by the recent actions by the county administration, wherein they had the issues of the huge amount of money that's attached to the meters, because the West African Power Pool was extended here, some part of Maryland, and Plateau State is also benefiting Harper, and some part of Callaway, they are also benefiting. But in that vein, one group just took over, to supply other work communities, and also to manage the current. They are called the Live Energy. The Live Energy.
Your 1 minute finish.
Okay, thank you.
After we go back to our topic, if you are just joining us, this is Fortified City TV Roundtable, and we are discussing accountability and transparency, why Article 61 needs reformed. So today, wherever you are, you can make your contributions. Our numbers, I want to call those numbers again before our first question. We are here. Voice of Plebo 93.5 FM is 0776-697767. Ablije 94.3 FM 08811667131 0775-734-774. And our WhatsApp number, which is +1 952 201 and Liberty Radio 88.1 FM is 0770-777-572 0888-866-9430. So thank you so much. The question here, based on our topic for discussion today, does this provision, this Article 61, does it undermine accountability and the rule of law? Because we see that our president is exempted for everything. So what do you think? Undermine undermine accountability and the rule of law? Because you expect other people to abide by the rule, you expect other people to be accountable. But here is the article that exempts our president from being accountable. What's your opinion? We want to start from Honorable Manchester. Yeah, in 2 minutes.
So I would say the interpretation that you are giving from what I have read and my understanding of it is not quite like the way it is. I think that this
give your own interpretation. That's what the discussion is about.
Yes. And I think that what according to this stuff, they said that while you are president, you cannot be sued civilly or criminally. But in the same constitution, if a president commit a criminal act, the president can be impeached. So all they are saying that when you are president, you cannot be sued civilly or criminally. But once you are no longer president, you can be charged. There is no statute of limitation on the crimes that you do as president. And in my opinion, I think that is right, because as president, that you have to run the affairs of the country. You going to being sued from this place and that place. If a president commits a crime, that's what we have the Senate, for the Senate to impeach the president on said crime. The correction. This House have an impeachment hearing. They send it to the Senate, and the Senate will try the president and remove them of that crime. Then that president can be charged for the crime because it will be removed from office. So that there's a checks and balance in there. We can't just say that a president can just be sued whenever. I don't think that would be right for the republic.
Okay. Is there any set down rules that you know of when it comes to impeachment?
Yeah, the impeachment is said for high crimes and misdemeanors. That's where it is.
The procedure itself, is
The-
there anything? Because as far as we're concerned, we have not seen anything like that.
Because we have never impeached.
Step proceedings that calls for the impeachment. Now you can put that on the floor. But when it comes to all the procedures that need to be followed to remove the president, please send it to us. We want to see it if you have it.
The Constitution says high crimes and misdemeanors.
Yeah. So how do they go about it? How.
Okay, listen now. Okay, I will explain it. The how is the House of Representatives, right? The House of Representatives is going to take up a case, make their case. It's kind of like a preliminary hearing. Like in any case, they will send it to the Senate. The Senate will take the evidence. The president will be judged. Will have his or her lawyer, and the House will have his and their lawyer, and they will sit before the Senate. The Supreme Court justice, the chief justice will sit as the judge of the thing. The senators will sit as the jurors, and they will vote on. They will hear the case of the president. They will hear the case of the House of Representatives, and then they will decide on if the president should be removed. If they decide the president should be removed from office, whatever crime that president committed, that president can be charged for that crime.
Okay, we'll come back to you, Manchester. Honorable Ta, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, does this provision in the rule of law?
Well, to some extent, I may want to agree with Majisu Eddie Wodokoli, owing to the fact that let's use the case of Donald Trump as a typical example, the former American president. There were issues raised by the American government, but following his term as president of the country, he has been dragged to court overly because it also has the propensity of denying you to function appropriately. And the same constitution provides that for reasons a president can be removed from office. And one of those reasons will be incapacity. That means you are not able to function appropriately in the office of the president. But on the other hand, I think there should be a law amendment, because that clause in the Constitution, it also gives presidents of Liberia the right to do whatever they please, and the next thing that will happen upon turning power over, they can also play their lame political games, wherein they will say to their successor that, look, I did not perform well in this area. I have some challenges on this side. There were monies that are extracted from government account with all following due processes. So I can give you my support, and upon winning, you can protect me. And this has been a game in Liberia for far too long, between the predecessor and the successor. And so I think there should be a law amendment. That means there should be limitation of actions, that you should not be held liable for once you are in office. So I think there should be limitation. That's my own stand on this entire Article 61 of our. It is too open, and I think there should be limitation.
What would be your limitation?
Okay, we'll come back to that. Hold on. We go to Moses.
Yeah.
Does this article create the culture of impunity?
Yeah. So from our view here, firstly, let's look at this war. If you go to every justice area, let's look at this war that is said, quote unquote, that says let justice be done to all.
To all men, yeah.
To all men, right? So if you take this word, let justice be done, it did not exempt the presidency. It said all, right? But on the other hand, like what Tar is trying to portray is that let's see, for example, that the president can be going to court, and the president can go to other places when he has major cases, and he can be arrested, he can be sent to court. For example, they are politicians, right? And one of the opponent maybe could just set him up, maybe have some kind of maybe break case against him, or put some kind of death case against him, and say that he had committed murder, kill somebody, and what have you. And people were setting up on that, and maybe we want to prove himself beyond all reasonable doubt, and without work out. At the end of the result, he will be found guilty, right? And the law will take a course. They will send him to jail. Let's assume that maybe they will sentence him for 3 years. Knowing to the fact that maybe after his sentence, other person will come at the level of the presidency and want to resume and want to take over the presidency to be the next president of this country. At the end of the result, maybe after 2 to 3 years, they will now realize that the verdict that sent the president to jail was not a good verdict. Then you are already sent the president of a state to jail without doing the process. Now, let's come to this scenario of the former American president Donald Trump. He had other issues with the American government, but all of these things came out when he left the office of the presidency. The American people dig all of this information, and they were able to substantiate more claims and evidences about all of his activities in the United States of America. From that stand, they have decided to court actions against him, and that these court actions held him responsible, and he paid a lot of money. But if you say even on the Laban side, if you say even excluding his office as president, even if he shall leave office as a president of this country, he should not be prosecuted. He should not be he should not be asked for anything that he did during his presidency. I think in my mind they will contradict the word that says let justice be done to all men, in my view.
Thank you, Moses.
John,
I want to go back to Majesty. You want to say something?
yeah, I think you guys are confusing something right now.
I'm getting feedback. I'm getting feedback. I don't know from who.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Okay,
can
go
hear
out. You're loud and clear.
All right. I think you guys are confusing. I didn't want to use Donald Trump. I want to stick to Liberia. Now let's put Donald Trump, the former president Donald Trump. When he was in office, he was not tried for the crime that he committed. When he left office, that's when he was tried. Like I said, that our Constitution state that. Right now, Article 61 state that. As president, you cannot be tried.
If you leave the presidency.
Yeah, when you leave the presidency, you can be tried.
Yeah.
But as Moses said, as president, even let's say right now, Joseph Boyka is president right now. If somebody said if a woman come and say Joseph Boyka raped me, there has to be an investigation before anything happened, before you get to arresting the president. So you guys are going to the far extreme of things. Nobody can just come out and say the president killed somebody and there's no investigation, so we arrest
the article says that you can launch an investigation after his term. That's what
that's what I'm saying. No, what article, please?
Yeah.
People understand.
After
Article 61.
Then you can launch an investigation.
Hold on, gentlemen.
Article 61 is very clear.
So the president are getting feedback. Yeah. The president shall be immune from any suits, actions, or proceedings, judicial or otherwise, and from arrest, detention, or other actions on account of any act done by him while president of Liberia pursuing
It didn't
any
say, it
provision.
didn't say nothing
Wait,
about
wait.
investigation.
Wait, we're talking about
Yeah,
proceedings.
let her go through. Let her go through.
To the place.
Yeah, go ahead.
So any provisions of this constitution or any other laws of the republic, the president shall not, however, be immune from persecution upon removal from office for the commission of any criminal act done while president. So while he's president, you cannot do anything. But when he's not,
Wait,
he's
yes,
no
that's what I'm
longer,
saying.
when he's no longer president, that's when you can launch an investigation.
No,
Hello,
that's
criminal,
not-
you cannot persecute somebody if you have not done an investigation.
okay,
So
hold on.
every criminal case has to go through investigation.
Yes,
You can't
what-
grab somebody and say, "Oh, yeah,
Pastor.
So
Because the Constitution did not say you cannot launch an investigation. The Constitution did not say that. It said you cannot prosecute. You can launch that. Let's say, for example, in the case of a rape, right? A woman can go to the hospital, get a rape kit done, and that stuff that rape kit can be stolen to reserve the DNA that was taken from her vaginal part, and it can be tested on the removal of the president from office. It does not state that you cannot do an investigation. It says you cannot prosecute. I'm not a lawyer, but
Hello?
looking at the plain text of
the provisions is clear.
No, it's not clear.
The president is immune from any suit actions.
Yes,
What are you talking about?
investigate-
What you are saying it means is an action that is
No,
taken.
no.
He's immune from those actions or proceedings. He's
No,
immune.
Pastor, you are wrong. Pastor
You
Patient.
need
Pastor Patient.
let's go to time. Give your opinion on this.
Let's get what
on this
it means
provision.
right now. I want to put it in plain simple
No,
terms.
hold your peace. Let's hear from Ty. We'll come back to Moses. If you are just joining us, this is the round table, and we are having a
I think
discussion.
Ty is talking. I'm not hearing.
Yes, because I have my mouth muted. Well, sorry about that. But let me just say this,
Boy.
right? When you underline the word proceedings, it clearly depicts that there is a process. And that process could be investigation. It could be gathering prima facie as it relates to what you have been accused of when it comes to judicial proceedings. You are not a lawyer, but immune from any suits, proceedings, or actions. Clearly depicts that if you are having an issue with the president during his period or his tenure as president of the Republic of Liberia, you have to keep those pieces of evidence gathered. The prima facie can be kept, and any other evidence you have whatsoever should be stored until that person leaves power. And that's why earlier on I suggested that there should be limitation.
That's right.
Like, for example, you raise the issue of rape, and we know to what extent rape cases are taken seriously in Liberia, particularly in post-war Liberia, because yesteryears we had the other folks that will go out there and get young ladies that are not even reached the adolescent stage very well and say, "There's my wife." But in this modern dispensation, it cannot happen. So they have rape cases. And so there should be limitations. You will not have a president that will go about having intimacy with girls that have not reached the age which we start as rape, and that person enjoys the moment every time for 6 years as president of the Republic of Liberia without being called to order or without being investigated without being prosecuted. My take is that there should be limitation. And that's where I come in to say that portion of the Constitution, Article 61, needs to be revisited, and let there be limitations to actions or inactions of the presidency.
Okay, Todd.
Okay, thank you.
My question to everybody and the Lord, whoever watches.
Wait, just to hold your peace. Let's hear Todd, because the next one we'll get some callers before we leave this place. So hold your peace.
I'm going to say this before the callers call, because I want people. We have to educate the people.
You will come back.
We can't just opinions and just let it just sit in there like that.
You will have your say. Go ahead, Moses.
Yeah, so I think the what the company is trying to say there is that for the issue of the limitation, I support TAR on grounds that for instance, what you talk about the president when the president functions as a president, there where comes in his impeachment, right? It should not also be limited to only when he cannot function when he's ill, right? It should also be linked to when there's a serious crime against him. It should also be being impeached based upon facts and evidences attached, to the crime. But should not be prosecuted, should not be taken to court, because other people might use that means to setting up, carrying to maybe to look up, the Supreme Court and make sure that they run a verdict on him. That's what I'm looking at so far.
Okay, thank you, Moses. Our Majesty.
Okay, gentlemen and lady, the Constitution. The one thing we have, the Constitution, our laws of Liberia, You're looking at just the Constitution. You guys are not looking at the other laws. The age of consent. What's the age of consent? Either age of consent in Liberia is either 16 or 18. Let's assume
18.
18. I think that they may have just changed that, correct? I think
it's adults. So let's
21.
No, it's not 21.
Yeah.
18. It's 18.
That's
18,
right.
yeah. No more, it's 18.
Yes, 18. So don't say 21. So now the age of consent is 18. If a president, there's a difference between rape and statutory rape. Rape is when the person does not consent. Statutory rape is when someone 18 and over have a sexual relationship with somebody 17 and below.
So the question here is
I'm not
talking about rape.
I'm not talking about rape. I'm not talking about rape.
Offense that the president commits while in office.
That's what I'm saying.
It can be any offense. It can be embezzlement. It can be murder.
But guess what? Pastor, the Constitution says a president can be impeached for high crimes and misdemeanors. High crimes and misdemeanors. Embezzlement is high crime. So guess what? The House of Representatives can impeach the president on embezzlement. The House of Representatives can impeach, and the Senate can remove the president for embezzlement, rape, fraud, robbery, and all that stuff. Once the president leaves, those evidence that is God that the House of Representatives gather and stay and put the president on trial before the Senate can be used as a tool to prosecute the president criminally. The president, they are only doing the impeachment to remove him. The impeachment does not put the president in jail. The impeachment removes the president from office. So once he removed from office, then criminal cases can go against him. That is the checks and balance that we have.
I'm glad that we're going to have our lawyer here on next week Thursday that will go into parts of the different provisions concerning this, because this has been one of the reasons why president upon president has ascended office and they have not been persecuted, because the law is so vague. And if you try, unless it is properly interpreted, you cannot hold the president for any crime that he's committed. You cannot even impeach him, even though there's a provision that says you should impeach him. So we're going to leave it at that, and then we'll come back Thursday and we'll continue with that discussion. Meanwhile, our lines are open. We are hoping to get some get our callers on the line. Is there anyone on the line? If not, we go right to our next question.
So
Anybody on the line?
on what side we normally okay, so on what side we normally open the line when we are ready to accept calls. You know, we don't open line when we are about to discuss the issue. So should I open the line?
Yes, please do. So we can.
Okay, so for those of you who are listening here in Plebo, Maryland County, this is the voice of Plebo. And of course, we are live on the roundtable discussion, live on 4570 TV. You can join us there. You also leave your comment on 4570 TV. And here, you can call us on the station number 0776 697767. 0776697767. Which side do you stand on? Do you support that the president should be taken to prison, should be carried to okay, I think
we got a caller on
hello.
the line. This caller.
Oh, okay.
Hello, this is the round table.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello, this is Solomon Frank Kwame calling from the United States.
Okay.
Most of the panelists there. Today's topic is very interesting as it has to do with Article 61.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of the key words we should think about in that article has to be with remove, right?
Okay.
The court has to come in to interpret that because all of us were arguing that if the president terms were over and that person still remain immune. All our arguing said no. As long as the person was booted out, it is removed. So we should look at that key word in Article 61 that talk about remove. Okay, secondly, Mr. Wolokoli talks about, yeah, it is true, there's provision in the law that talks about impeachment. But again, these are things that are just written, but looking at the implementation in Liberia and even across Africa, it is very, very difficult. Now, to impeach a certain president, even in the great United States, that our constitution is modeled after, we have only witnessed from the record, only one person elects of President Grant. So it is not a normal situation in the United States, for which our constitution is modeled after. But if you go to other developed countries, all civilized countries like the United Kingdom, we saw what happened in England. 4 prime ministers were being removed because of crime against the law. We saw the likes of Boris Johnson. We saw the likes of Theresa May. We saw the likes of Liz Truss. Just within one 10-year period, Liz Truss only served her term very shortly for 49 days. Let's go to South Korea. The Prime Minister, Wang Koo, he was asked to step down 2 months. Why? Because of bribery accusations. We saw what happened to Park Geun in 2016, 2017. She was president because of corruption. She was impeached from office. So this is the only problem we have with Liberia is that it would be difficult to just charge a sitting president because our constitution is modeled after the United States Constitution. But we're also witnessing in the United States that past presidents, former presidents, that are facing charges because of XYZ. Why is that happening in Liberia?
Mm-hmm.
Sudan, even Sierra Leone, which is our closest neighbor, we saw Ernest Bar Koroma was caught, he was audited, and he was charged on charges by the current president, Madabio. It was because ECOWAS that stepped in today. Ernest Bar Koroma is in Ezra, and his charges are still there waiting for in Sierra Leone. While it's not happening in Liberia, if you look at the post-war, and let me just end on this. If you look at the post-war, the likes of Mansalif, George Weah, there are a lot of accusations about crimes they have committed. Why they say that President George Weah did not audit Salif and persecute him? Why they say Joseph Yuma Bwaka is not doing it? So the issue of of the immunity of the sitting president, it will be difficult across Africa. I have researched it's difficult for any African sitting president to be impeached. It's very, very difficult, except maybe by the ways of coup d'etat. But legislatively, constitutionally, it is difficult because Africa, the way they perceive democracy, is different from the West. But again, there are a lot of African countries who have prosecuted former presidents because of corruption, because of abuse of power. Why is it's not happening in Liberia? So there's a need that we talk about this. Thank you again, 45 City TV. Thank you, Mr. Wolokoli. Very insightful. I may come back to give some information, but thank you for the show. So this is my thought. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, Pastor, please, we beg you to at least give time to the callers so they can take the entire show. Yeah. Okay. So 077-669-7767, 077-669-7767 from here, from my angle. You can also join us on the show on 45 City TV. It's roundtable discussion. We are discussing the issue here. Do you support that the president should face court issues, court matters, when he's serving this country as a president? Or do you support that at all the president should just stay away? Let's take this person. Hello? Oh, the person still in line. You can cut us back there. Let me just draw the base from very closer. 077-669-7767, 077-669-7767. Join us here on the discussion and be live here on the show.
So, we are talking about accountability and transparency, and with reference to Article 61. And the reason why this article is uploaded is because we are talking about reform, constitutional reform. There are some provisions in the Constitution that, that has to be, we think, in our opinion, that it has to be amended, to fit certain criteria or to address certain issues. So this is just one of those articles. There are so many in the Liberian.
This article don't need to be amended.
Oh, well, that's your opinion. And
yeah,
that's
my opinion. But
and that's the reason why we are here. Because we want to hear diverse opinion on this.
Agree. Let's get the facts.
Yeah.
Let's get the facts, Pastor. You gave your facts already, and the rest of the people did the same thing. So if you have any other thing to say, go ahead, say it within 1 minute. Let's listen to you. If you look at what the last caller just said, the Article 61 state that a president can be prosecuted once they leave office. The prosecution of a former president is on who took over. So the justice minister, the current justice minister, should be, if President Weah committed bribery or any crime, the current justice minister should have an investigation and charge the former president. President Weah from Musa Dean should have charged Ellen Johnson Sirleaf for any corruption or anything. You are attacking the law that is there. It is there for the immunity for a sitting president. It does not say for a former president. It says a sitting president. When you leave office, when they say removal from office, then they are saying that either when the voter voted you out or you impeach. That's what removal is. Whatever it takes for you to be removed, you can be charged.
Thank you.
So you can't. So we can't just sit here and just say that.
So we go back to the question. This article creates Ty, you began it.
Yes, let me just quickly announce the hotline numbers for those following us in Grand Bassa and other parts of Liberia. We are looking at Article 61 of our revised 1986 Constitution that says the president shall be immune from any suits, actions, or proceedings, judicial or otherwise, and from arrest, detention, or other actions on account of any act done by him or her while president of Liberia pursuant to any provision of the Constitution. And so now they are saying that if the president is in office and he should not be prosecuted until he or she leaves office. That is the portion of the Constitution we are looking at this evening. So to join us on the platform to interact with the panelists and other studio discussants, call us on 0775 734 774. 0775 734 774 or 0881 166 731 are the hotline numbers. So let's go back and move ahead with the discussion this evening as we await the calls.
Does it create a culture of impunity? Because if somebody in power and they committed a crime and nothing is done, they keep doing the same thing over and over. And if you serve the first 6 years, of course, you have the right to serve another 6 years, and you continue doing it. So does this create a culture of impunity? Ta.
Is that a question?
Well, I would say that I cannot say that it creates a culture of impunity. What I'm suggesting or recommending, and I hope that others can also join the debate by agreeing with me, there should be limitation, because for far too long a culture of impunity has affected our growth as a nation. But it's not that we are supporting a culture of impunity, it's just that there should be some limitations, because the president runs the day-to-day affairs of the country, and there should be extreme circumstances when it comes to acts committed that the president should or must be prosecuted for. But I think it's just open, and there should be limitation. As I used rape as an example, and I think there are other crimes committed by the presidency that should not go unnoticed, despite being in power or not. But I think while in power, there should be limitation that you can still be persecuted. And I listened to the first caller that talked about our president, and I was just about to use the former president of Brazil as an example. You know, our constitution, to some extent, needs to be revisited. And I grabbed something from Dr. George Okompu the last time he started on the platform. That was some part of last week, when he said the 1986 Constitution was written under instruction and pressure and out of fear. Because at the time we had a military government that had just been elected, and they still had control to instill fear in the people of Liberia. So that revised 1986 Constitution in Banga City, Bon County, was also under pressure when it comes to those that were part of that committee, then headed by the former Governor Commission boss. He's there now. He is so rest in peace, Dr. Amos Clitus Sawyer. So I don't think
we have a caller from Maryland.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Yeah,
Come
in. Yeah, go ahead. Make your point.
Thank you very much. What I found out but then there should be amendment.
Okay.
In that portion of that Constitution may be necessary. Where president power and power corruption or acts committed that the sitting president can be prosecuted. Then there I have a question.
Okay.
The president is the one who appoints the chief justice, and the law is above everyone in the Republic of Nigeria. So now, the president appoint the chief justice and has to be prosecuted. And then the law also say in the action of the president, the vice president is power. But I think it's based on strategy. So that's why there's that position to protect the president and the government. They also constitute the government president of corruption and likely when the African country, you don't really have Zambia or you don't think that. Whether the government will probably go to the former president and you know jail by the current government.
Okay.
So if you prosecute your certain president and then you in that duration, there was no you didn't regard him. So that's why they made that position until after his death.
Okay.
The law is still there. Really restore him back and see us everything. You did there, you still or what I do. So it's a different reason why being first president. So in my mind, I think that's why that push of that position take the president until he said I cannot do. But the law says you can be peace. And then what are being prosecuted also? So that if they want to clear that they need to do amendment in that portion of the constitution. That's the only way they can right to act.
So I think it can happen. Put you support that it should be amended, right?
Yeah, if we want it to be like that, the certain president to be to trust then it should be amendment.
Okay.
Or if so, then it remains until after you are committed, then the current government can possibly do.
All right. Thank you for your input. We highly appreciate so far. 077-669-7767. You can also join us on the show. We are on roundtable discussion. You can call and share your input with us, share your own ideas and what's your own thoughts as well. Yeah, people can go ahead, tell your in speech. Though you always got one feedback behind you there.
Just to conclude, because time is of essence and we have to go, I'm saying that I also support amendment to Article 61 of our revised 1986 Constitution. But in the same vein, I'm requesting limitation because we have to respect the presidency. You can't have the president running from one court to another for simple things that will happen. But I think there should be a limitation as to what are some of those crimes also committed while president that you cannot be prosecuted for, and not just everything. I think it's too open and there should be limitation.
Okay, thank you, Ty. Well, we got reports that the calls are now going through Ablije radio station. So next time, please take a look at that. Technical problem. The calls, people are calling using Ablije lines, but it's not going through. So next time, you want to, correct that. We want to take our closing comments because we have only 2 minutes. We'll start with the Honorable Magistu Wolokoli. Just 1 minute because we got only 2 minutes on the show.
Well, my 1 minute, I will say again. So the President of the Republic of Liberia, President Joseph Numa Baka, I'm asking you and pleading with you that Representative Yeka Koluba has already given you a path forward. Reduce the payments for cars, vehicles to the legislator. Give them $3,500 United States dollars for them to buy care and pay $500 for insurance and register their vehicle. They do not need it. They have already shown that they can use it, so there's no reason for them to be riding $45,000 car. $3,500, $3,000 for the care, $500 for registration and insurance. Plain and simple. That is the simplest thing. Thank you, Representative Yeka Koluba and every legislator that got in Keke today. Y'all have shown the Liberian people that y'all can save money. Rest of that money can be transferred over to agriculture, to education, and to the healthcare system.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Wolokoli. Moses.
Let me just wrap up quickly, then Moses can close up, please. Let me just wrap up quickly, then Moses can close up. Let me say thanks to all of you. And I think talking constitutional matters is very important for us as a country. This is as it relates to your appearance on the political forum. But thanks so kind to all of those that let me also announce that we have some network issues that has also affected our internet. I have to go on the screen to have the show televised this evening. But that's it, and we hope to rejoin the platform on Thursday.
Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you.
Moses.
Yeah. So let me say thanks for the time. We hope that another time the arrangement between the former justice Justice Kabila Jana should be established so that he can share aspect. Yeah, we are closing, right? Yeah. So thanks for the time, and we hope that the next time Justice Kabila Jana join us on the show, so that he can share the judiciary term to explain some of the judiciary term in that Article 61. Thank you.
Definitely. We will, ensure that he's here next broadcast. He could not make it today because of some situation beyond his control. Nevertheless, he is a regular panelist here on the roundtable. And of course, we're going to be bringing back Article 61. We want to say thank you to our viewers out there. This discussion is all about looking at our constitution, the Constitution of Liberia, and seeing the some of the provisions that needs reform. And I believe that it's all for the betterment of Liberia, for the development of Liberia, and it's all about accountability and transparency. So until then, this is your host, Pastor Patience, on the roundtable, and we will be here next Thursday. Have a great rest of your day. God bless. And thank you to all my panelists today. It was awesome. I love the discussion. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.